Greetings, car fanatics. I'm here with D-Wray. Got a special guest here. He's from the YouTube channel D-Wray's Garage, and we're here to do a quick review of his 2011 Porsche Spyder. This is a special edition Boxster, as you can see here with this nice silhouette. So I guess before we get started in the video, let me just have D-Wray tell us a little bit about his car.
Yeah, so I was in the market for a Boxster or Cayman. Spent a lot of time looking at 2008s to 2009s, typically the 987-1, and I found a Spyder on a lot in a Kia dealership in town. I actually sent you a picture of that. I don't know if you remember. It was a red Spyder, and I got bit by that Spyder. Apparently, I didn't buy the red one because it looked a little tatty, but I did buy this one off of a Mercedes lot here in Scottsdale. I managed to do what I think was steal it at $37,000 when I bought it here, coming on 2 years ago. And at the time, it was a stock car with all stock wheels and everything else through and through.
Great. Well, we're going to do a quick walk around. We'll take a look at the options and mods D-Wray has on his car, and then we'll take it out for a drive. All right, so let's take a look at D-Wray's Spyder. It definitely has some mods to it and has these Apex wheels. They look pretty cool in black, and he also has some nice sticky RE71 tires. Then on the inside, the Spyder has some pretty cool options. It has the center painted console over there. He's got a short shifter, and additionally, it's pretty cool. The car comes with these door pulls, so making it feel a bit more special than regular Boxsters. You also have the red seat belts and the sport seats here, which have a little bit extra shoulder bolstering and bolstering around your thighs and stuff too. So we'll see how this feels when we take it for a drive. Moving to the back of the car, the Spyder has this pretty awesome looking fairing that makes the car look like an exotic from the back end, if you ask me. And D-Wray does have some engine mods on here. So he has a full exhaust system. I believe this is the Soul system, where he has headers, high flow catalytic converters, and this whole exhaust system setup. It sounds really awesome. Additionally, he does have a Cobb tune and IPD plenum, and he had a dynode, and it showed something like a 40 horsepower gain at the wheels. So I'm really excited to drive his car and see how the power feels compared to the 997. All right, so we're in D-Wray's 987.2 Spyder. It feels really good. So we've been driving for about 5 minutes. The overall cabin feels pretty close to the 911. It feels a little bit more tighter, kind of how D-Wray is describing it as a glove, and that's to be expected when you don't have a back seat and all that. But it definitely feels more sporty, and I love the fact that when you have the top down, you can hear all the lovely exhaust notes. So D-Wray does have an exhaust mod, but just kind of revving it up. Let's hear what it sounds like.
All right, let's hear what it sounds like with the giggle button, okay?
All right, now
tell me that's no exotic.
And D-Wray has the Cobb tune on this car. We were just talking about the responsiveness of the throttle, but as soon as you flip the throttle, the revs shoot up almost instantaneously. So it makes for heel towing a lot easier, and it just gives you a really cool throttle response. And D-Wray is also running the JRZ coilovers. I guess these are touring coilovers that are meant for everyday use plus the track.
Dual adjustable, yeah.
Yeah, so it rides really comfortable. I mean, compared to my car, I'd say probably rides pretty similar. I do feel like I'm sitting a little bit lower in your car. I think overall the profile of the Boxster plus your adjusted suspension is actually sitting me lower to the ground. Other thoughts on D-Wray's car? He's got these sport seats, and they have extra bolstering on the sides and up around the shoulder. So I definitely feel like I'm held in place better than with the standard seats on my car. Driving dynamic wise, we did hit a twisty up here, and I'd say the weight just feels like it's bolted right in the middle, because it is. You don't feel that weight transferring around like you do in my car, where
there's just no weight separation, right? Like it's all one thing moving together.
Yep, it feels like one unit. That's a great way to put it. Whereas in the 911, you have to kind of be mindful of where the weight is at all times. You'll feel it shifting from side to side, front to back, and you just have to be mindful of the weight and what you're doing. as D-Ray knows, we were in my car and getting a little bit tail happy on the autocross, and me having to wrestle the motor in the back.
It was more than a little bit.
Yeah, I did spin out and do a 360.
It was very glamorous. There was dust and pebbles everywhere.
I almost took out the timing equipment once. That was pretty interesting and scary. All right, let me just try, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go wide open throttle.
Brake it.
First gear.
Brake it.
I may have broke the back tires a little loose on that first and second. With the 911, I have more weight over those back tires.
There's a little bit of that, there's dust, and then you've got just as more power than the car was originally intended for.
Yeah. But there's definitely more excitement when you take it up in the rev range with the roof open and the additional noise coming through. It just feels more like you're driving a track car. But yeah, this is a great car. And I was telling D-Ray I love the looks of this car. Of the 987, 997 era, I feel like the 987 Spyder looks the most exotic of all of the cars Porsche made at that time. But
Do you think it's timeless? Is that too strong of a word to put to it?
I think so. I think the shape will always look good, and the way the fairings and stuff look on the Spyder from behind is just absolutely amazing. I don't think this car will look boring in 10 years. I mean, it might look a little dated, just like any other car would be, but the overall shape and silhouette is kind of timeless in my opinion. Alright guys, we are back in the 911 and I really had a great time driving D-Ray's Spyder. Let me do some reflections and share my overall thoughts on the car. So I gotta say, I haven't been a huge fan of convertibles. However, the Spyder with the windows up and I guess the fairing and all that, the air seems to just come through the top of the car very well, and you don't have a lot of wind noise or anything like that. So I actually found the Spyder to be extremely fun to drive. I loved how with the open top you had all the engine noise coming through. So let me do some compare and contrast thing between my 997 and the Spyder. Let's talk about the power. So I'm in second gear. Oh yeah. The 997 definitely throws you back in your seat harder than the 987. I know D-Ray has some power mods, but the 997 does have a bigger motor. It has more torque and overall power, so it's going to win in that category. No surprise there. In terms of the handling department, I think the 987 takes it. The engine is in the right place, giving it better weight distribution, and overall this just means the car is more eager to change directions. You also don't have to fight the engine hanging out in the back on the rear axle like you do in the 997. But with that being said, the 997 does have a unique driving characteristic that people have come to love, and it does have an advantage when it comes to traction. So if you need to power hard out of a corner, or if you just need to launch, having the weight over the rear axle definitely helps in that respect. So in summary, if you're kind of cross-shopping between a 987 and a 997, I'd say they're fairly different vehicles. The 997 is going to be more practical, something you can daily drive, while the 987 you still can, but you're going to sacrifice those back seats that could come in handy if you have kids or you need to carry a little bit more. I think the 987 is a great value car, and if you can find a Spyder for a good deal like D-Ray's, I definitely recommend it. Alright car fanatics, well there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in seeing D-Ray's review of my car, go to his YouTube channel where he'll be doing a review on my car. Well, thanks for watching car fanatics. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments or questions below and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you're notified each time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.